Today I'll show you how to make these 3 gusset styles step by step. The first one is a piped gusset. It's a great way to add a more premium look to bags, especially tote bags. The only extra material you need for a piped gusset is a piping cord. I use one that's around 2 mm thick. This pattern is only made of these pieces. We have the regular gusset piece, a leather strip that holds the piping cord inside, and the main body panel where the gusset is stitched around. I recommend making the leather strip around 1 mm thick so it's easier to shape. Also, make sure to skive the edges of the other pieces. In the final assembly, some areas will have 4 layers of leather, so this step helps keep everything clean and neat. I recommend warming up the piping cord and straightening it by hand first. This makes it easier to place it neatly in the center of the strip. Now that the piping cord is centered, bring the 2 edges of the strip together and glue them. Keep the cord in place so it stays right in the middle. To shape the piping edge, I use a slicker. You can find them in wood or bone, and both work well. Once it's shaped, your piped gusset should look something like this. For a cleaner finish, I recommend leaving around 1.5 cm at both ends of the strip without the piping cord. This prevents extra thickness from building up at the edges of the bag. When you have rounded corners, you'll need to make a few small cuts on the piping strip. This helps the piping turn around the curve much easier and keeps the shape clean. To make this easier and avoid mistakes, I attach the strip to the main panel first. Then, remove a little bit of the piping cord and make small cuts so the end looks the same as the beginning. Finally, attach the gusset to the piping from the inside. Just make sure the edges line up perfectly. Gently shaping the piping with your hands around the edge helps it keep a better form. The next gusset is quite similar to the piped gusset. The pattern is almost the same, but the way we build it is a little different. In the piped gusset, we place a cord inside this leather strip. But here the strip only wraps around the main panel and is glued in place. We need to thin down the edges of the leather pieces to about 1 millimeter so they can be joined smoothly without creating wrinkles or coming apart. Because these two pieces are glued with the grain size together, we should roughen the surface so they hold better. To keep the tension even, start gluing the welt and the main panel from the center of both pieces, then move toward the edges. You can use clips to secure the edges and continue gluing the rest of the piece. This is a simple yet elegant gusset. You only need leather and no special materials are required. The main gusset is attached to the welt in the same way, starting from the middle and working toward the edges. Here the welt is about 2 cm wide. A thinner welt creates a more subtle shadow line and a simpler look, while a wider welt pushes the gusset further inward and gives the bag a more luxurious feel. If you want your bag To have a more professional and refined look, this gusset is a great option. Why do most professional handmade bags use this type of gusset? Let's find out. This gusset is made of 3 parts: the main panel, the side pieces, and the bottom piece. Usually the notches on the side pieces are placed 1 cm from each edge before cutting. It's better to skive the edges of all pieces to make shaping the bag easier. This reduces bulk, makes the corners easier to shape, and helps the final bag look cleaner and more professional. Mark 1 cm from both ends of the bottom piece. These points help us position the notches on the side pieces correctly. This is one way to join these parts. As you can see, the 1 cm cut from each side reduces the gusset width and makes the bag less deep. For example, to achieve a 5 cm bag depth, the gusset should be cut 7 cm wide. Just like the previous models, we start joining the pieces from the center point. One great thing about this gusset is that it's faster to make and uses fewer pieces, making the final bag lighter. The shape of the gusset can follow your bag design. For example, if the flap has sharp corners, the turned gusset can keep the same sharp shape. This inset gusset works really well for small bags, crossbody bags, and larger wallets. It's a practical style for everyday use. This crossbody bag is a good example of this gusset style. However, the connection method between the bottom and side pieces is different. Now that you know these 3 gusset styles, you can make a wide range of handmade bags with different designs. I'll leave the patterns for these samples in the community post so you can try making a small test version before using your final leather. Keep practicing, keep creating, and enjoy the process.